So groups and associations, there's social groups, community service groups, and then there's business networking groups. There's ways. Maybe you can put a star or an X next to one of those groups. Here we go. The cross-endorsement program. I mentioned to you there's ways to bring in people in your database one at a time, and there's ways to do it in groups. Let me go through this over in the book real quick, and then I'll explain it in depth. A series of cross-promotional endorsements between you and other businesses. A series of cross-promotional endorsements between you and other businesses. A series of cross-promotional endorsements between you and other businesses. On the follow-up, each endorsement must include a benefit to the recipient. An example of that would be a coupon, discount, or item of value. Coupon, discount, or item of value. Okay. Now I want you to keep your finger in that place in the book, and I want you to go back to the inside front cover of your workbook, because I'm going to teach you and share with you a principle right now, a foundational principle of this whole system. On the inside cover of your workbook, I want you to write in big bold letters, I run my business like a business. I run my business like a business. I run my business like a business. Say it with me. 1, 2, 3. Many people get into business for themselves and they try to treat it like a job. You must understand this one glaring thing. Everybody in this room is an entrepreneur. I love entrepreneurs. I am one. Okay? Habitual entrepreneur. Will always be an entrepreneur. And I love being around entrepreneurs. But when an entrepreneur tries to run their business like a job, they do not become an entrepreneur anymore. What they become is a 1099 person with a tax bill and with debt and with tremendous levels of frustration. You cannot try to live in both worlds. You must run your business like a business. I'm going to show you mechanisms to generate leads like a business. I'm going to teach you how to have customer service systems like a business. I'm going to teach you business systems to run your business like a business. I'm going to share with you, before you leave here, how to have a profit and loss statement for your business, how to have a home budget for your finances, so that you can run your business like a business. Does this make sense? Yes. Now, when you run your business like a business, one of the foundations of a business is its database. Now here's how it works. So you run your business like a business. There are other businesses out there. One of the key principles of the Referral by Design system is business-to-business luncheons, business-to-business meetings, and cross-endorsement programs. Business-to-business. So in order to do a business-to-business luncheon or a business-to-business endorsement, you have to first run your business like a what? And you have a database. When this database is more filled with A's than D's, what you'll find is this. This is more valuable. And more people would love access to your database. Other businesses with their own database. In fact, what you'll find is that there are mechanisms and ways to build up your own database in great chunks at a time. Great chunks at a time. So, let's explore some of those. Turn back to where you left off. And go another page. And we're going to take a look at some endorsement letters. There's endorsement letters in your book. Endorsement letters. Here's an endorsement letter that you could write about a business to your database. Here's a letter they can write to your database. Okay? And here's an example. Okay? Here's one of our clients in San Diego, Craig Miller. He's in the mortgage business. And Craig did this joint venture marketing program, cross-endorsement, with a financial planner. So he writes a letter about the financial planner to his database. The financial planner writes a letter about Craig to his database. Does that make sense, yes or no? Okay? Craig Miller right now is averaging 2 referrals a day. Is that a pretty good number, yes or no? Okay, 2 is just fine. That's like, take 2 a day. Right? Isn't that what the doctor you say? Take 2 a day. 2 referrals a day. It's a beautiful number. Cross endorsement. Now all of a sudden you have, if you choose to, you can annex somebody's database. But now what you have is a new list. It's referred to you because it came through someone who knows you, but you must sort and qualify it. How do you do that? You got to have some what? Personal contact. And we recommend the phone. And at the end of the phone, you introduce yourself. Hi, Marilyn. Brian Buffini calling from Buffini Real Estate. Craig Miller, your financial planner, had sent you a letter about me here in the last week or so. Just want to follow up if you had any real estate needs or if you had any questions at all at any time, I'd be happy to help you. And then I might say this, Columbo. By the way, Marilyn, if you know anyone who's thinking about buying or selling a home who'd appreciate this same level of service, just give me a call with their name and number. You can say that. You can use the mayor campaign. By the way, Marilyn, if you were buying or selling a home, or you had a friend or family member who was, do you have a realtor you'd refer them to? And now I'm able to qualify her if I want to go that route. And so what we're able to do is annex a large database and then whizzing it down. Just so you know, bigger's not better. Bigger's not better. In regards to AE clients, one of the first couples we started coaching a few years ago, it's almost 6 years ago now, Sam and Edith Elsie. Sam and Edith, when they started with us, had 440 people in their database. That year they did 13 sales. Their first year in our system, they sorted and qualified their database down to 42. What type of people? A's. A's, the real beauties. Okay? Their first year in our system, they generated 308 referrals. And they spent less money marketing their business this year than the year before. Okay? We have some wonderful stories all around the country of people who... This is the pretty common dynamic. Normally, people, when they first come to us, will pare their database down, and then we'll build it back up with the right kind of people. We'll pare it down initially. Okay? Gail and Mark Eskinos, Denver, Colorado. Gail and Mark last year did 62 sales. They have 85 people in their database. They took 19 mini or major vacations. Does that sound like a good year, yes or no? Can you focus on 85 people? Could you do that? 85 people is your entire database, and you do 62 sales. Now, that's efficiency. That's efficiency of effort. It's efficiency of time. It's remarkably focused. It produces a great net income. That's what this is all about. All right, so there's an example there of one of these letters. There's some letters in there for you to do. Go ahead, start doing it, crank them out, get them in the mail. Cross endorsement, follow up with the mayor campaign. Okay, let's keep cooking. A couple more systems real quick. The assimilation plan. A system designed to increase your referral base by taking over the database of someone who is leaving or has left the business. Somebody who is leaving or has left the business. So in this example, you could take over a database of somebody who's leaving the business you're in. How many of you know someone who's gotten out of real estate or lending? Let me see your hands. How many of you know somebody who's planning? How many of you, that person's you? Okay. A system designed to increase your referral base by taking over the database of someone who's leaving or has left the business. Here's how you approach these people. How would you like to receive a residual income from your past client base? How many of you would like to receive a residual income from your own past client base? Okay. So let's get that working on too, right? Let's make sure you get your residuals first and then get theirs. Okay? On the follow-up, you do a promotional picture with both of you in it and send out a series of endorsement-style letters. Okay? There's another mechanism to put a bunch of people in your database at one time. The office adoption plan. Ask your broker owner if you can access the closed files of those who've left your office in the past 3 years. People who've left your office. Here's the follow-up. You always got to send out a letter, and then you'll call behind it. Okay? So those letters are there for you, already done out. Spell your name right and send them out. On the dialogue, though, how many more times effective is it if we have some personal contact behind it? As a person who represents the company that has represented you, I'd like to take a moment to introduce myself. Okay? That's what it says in the letter. That's what you're going to say in person. Send out the introduction letter and follow up with the mayor campaign. We're going to qualify him again. Just one of the tips I'd give you is that when you send out a letter to somebody or you send out something in the mail, this is a tip for direct response writing. Direct response writing should always have a headline. Now, a headline is what grabs people's attention. Newspapers, magazines have been doing this for 100 years. Okay? How many of you have noticed the magazines at the checkout stand in the grocery store? You know the ones? 9-year-old gives birth to herself type thing? Okay? And it's this headline. And okay. And people start reading it, and then they buy it. So the first thing you got to do is a headline. How many of you in here have ever sent out a just listed card? Ever done that? Just listed. Well, people get that, and that's realtor lingo. And they're like, okay? And they throw it away. I used to send out those. I had to experiment with headlines. I had one that I'd send out after I listed somebody's home, and it would go, guess what I did with your neighbor last night? Do you think people read it? Okay. I went on to tell them I listed their home. Okay. but it grabbed their attention. It did this. It stopped them from doing this. Does that make sense? It went, hey, what was that? Okay? So a headline. Now, in most letters, the next thing they read after a headline is the postscript, P.S. Instead of postscript, what are we going to say? Oh, by the way. Okay? So always try to put a headline. You know, if a realtor's leaving the business or a lender's leaving the business, you know, or they move. You know, we've used a headline like sometimes realtors move too, things like that. Use a headline, grab people's attention. Very, very important. All right. Let's now switch gears because I've just covered 5 different mechanisms with which to build your database. Okay? We've had the mayor campaign to do it one-on-one, the office adoption plan, business-to-business, endorsement programs, groups and associations, all the different ways for you to add and build your database. As you can see, the key to this whole system is to build, sort, and qualify a database. Now, a lot of people ask me, what is a database? Where do I start? Here's the best tip I can give you. Just make a list of everyone you know. I don't care if you've lived in a community for 6 years or 6 months. Just make a list of everyone you know. That's the start of your database. And we build, sort, and qualify from there. Listen to the mayor campaign dialogue we covered several times so you can get it down. There's systems in this video that you've just watched that teach you how to bring in groups of people at a time into your database. This is the foundation of this whole system. Now, in the next video in the series is lead generation systems, and we're going to teach you how to start drawing referrals out of this database that you've just built.